me re-quote a few things. Keep wealthy individuals from buying public office and stop the flow of soft money, and public disclosure of campaign contributions and spending should be expedited so voters can judge for themselves what's appropriate. Those are quotes, Mr. President. Did these quotes come from Bernie Sanders, who's known as being a liberal? He's been an outspoken advocate for campaign finance reform. But the author of these quotes is none other than my friend, the distinguished Republican leader, senior senator from Kentucky. These are all his quotes, word for word.
Here we are debating whether or not to grant politicians the extraordinary authority to ban speech they don't like. That's what Democratic leaders have brought to the floor this week as their top priority. It's a measure so extreme, it could even open the door to government officials banning books and pamphlets that threaten or annoy them.
I agree with the Republican leader's defense of the First Amendment, but the constitutional amendment before us isn't about limiting free speech. My Democratic colleagues and I are trying to address the special interest money that threatens to create a government of elected officials who are beholden to a few wealthy individuals. As the respected Justice John Paul Stevens recently told us, money is not speech. And it isn't, of course, we know that. Last week, a recording surfaced of a speech given at the Koch brothers' secret meeting they had in San Diego, or thereabouts. It was a secret meeting on their political strategy. It was a summit, they called it. And they had security guards. They cleared everybody who could come. It was very, very delicate. You had to be the right person or they wouldn't let you in. But one person was able to record what went on at that meeting. One of the speakers who was recorded, and there were others, a man by the name of Richard Fink, who's vice president of Koch Industries, a big shot with the Koch brothers. Koch brothers, of course, were there listening. Here's what he said. Mr. President, some pretty terribly vicious things about unemployed Americans. He basically called them lazy. He went on to say that the minimum wage leads to fascism. I'm making this up. This is what he said. Fascism. And he even compared minimum wage with tactics utilized by Nazi Germany and modern-day suicide bombers. Now, Mr. President, that's what the Koch brothers person said in their presence and in the presence of a number of higher-ranking Republican elected officials. Now, he has a right to say whatever he wants, okay? That's the country we live in. But as the United States senators, we have the responsibility to stand up for our constituents who are unemployed or on minimum wage. And we, on this side of the aisle, have done that. The American people agree with us. Not just Democrats, not just independents. Republicans believe there should be an increase in the minimum wage. The Republican leader was at the summit the very day that Mr. Fink made his offensive remarks. He was there. Mr. President, why has he not gone on record repudiating these vicious, unfair comments about the poor? In fact, it's been reported that the Republican leader referred to the speeches at the Koch conference that day as inspiring. Inspiring. There are 150,000 unemployed Kentuckians. Are they leaning toward fascism? There are families in Kentucky who live on minimum wage or try to. I don't think my friend, the Republican leader, views them as fascist stooges or lazy, but he should stand up and repudiate what the Koch brothers, through their representative, said at the conference he attended. If any member of this body said as much, I have no doubt that my friend would come to his constituents' immediate defense. But be careful what you say about the Koch brothers. They are very sensitive. They are very sensitive. They want to protect They're $75 billion each. There's two of them. They're worth $150 billion. And nobody messes with them because they have money to try to buy America, and that's what they're trying to do. So, do we need campaign finance reform? Of course we do.